Initially, our focus was on building the capacity of individual nonprofits to serve as more effective partners for the state. However, we soon learned that capacity issues were much deeper than any individual nonprofit. Research identified the need for networks to increase communication and for improved information sharing and more capacity in underserved areas. As a result, we shifted our focus to strengthening the nonprofit sector more broadly. We are passionate about building the strongest nonprofit sector in the country. Research shows Texas' nonprofit sector is underdeveloped and under-equipped to meet our growing needs. Community organizations, local government, foundations, and corporations often operate in isolation, precluding a comprehensive and collaborative approach to our state's most pressing needs. The result is duplication of effort, fragmentation of services, service gaps, and community solutions with limited immediate or long-term effectiveness. One answer is Texas Connector. The ability to map and analyze information on nonprofit service providers and other data is a critical first step to developing and sustaining collaborative service models. We want to create a self-sustaining tool with thousands of people across all sectors using the connector to be more strategic in their service delivery and in their philanthropic giving. We bridge the gap between the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. We're recognized as a lead voice on nonprofit issues. Our vision is to have the strongest, most effective nonprofit sector in the country. Toward that end, we convened thousands across all sectors to inform the development of Texas Connector. Texas Connector is an online geo-mapping tool that empowers communities, governments, funders, and nonprofits to more effectively meet the growing needs of Texas. Through unprecedented partnerships with state agencies and public and private entities, OneStar created this tool as the most robust statewide nonprofit data set in the country. We're effective because we are uniquely positioned as a nonprofit supporting the office of the governor, which gives us great credibility and statewide reach. The CEO and board members are bipartisan, cross-sector gubernatorial appointees from across Texas. We've been very intentional about building trust and bringing value to our strategic partners. When our research called for more formal networks to increase communication across the sector, OneStar was identified as the ideal neutral convener. As a result, with the support of all sectors, we repositioned the organization to connect, promote, and convene. As the Texas National Service Commission, some of the ways we track success include biannual financial and programmatic reporting, internal scorecards for our support staff, and a grantee annual survey to measure our customer service, quality of training, and technical assistance. OneStar is also tracking our Texas Connector online mapping tool through a comprehensive evaluation, including a statewide needs assessment and testing of the full statewide version. We collect quantitative and qualitative data through an in-depth user interviews, surveys, and web tracking tools to inform outreach, training, and iterative technical development. A common misperception about our work is that it appears to be a fruit basket of disparate programs. In reality, we couldn't be more intentional about our work, which is aligned with our mission. Being positioned at the intersection of the public and private sectors as a neutral convener invites frequent requests for us to provide support for critical functions that no other entity is equipped to perform, and for which there is no ready source of funding. For example, the state asked us to help identify a solution for managing unaffiliated volunteers during times of disaster. No other entity had both the neutrality and the reach to perform this function. Our major accomplishment to date is our social enterprise, Texas Connector. Launched in late 2012, it's achieved measurable success with a growing base of users, national recognition, and continual improvement in response to demand. Of the 100 in-depth alpha and beta testers who evaluated the tool prior to launch, 88% agreed that Texas Connector was a valuable resource. A Texas Connector subscriber, upon using the tool for the first time to conduct a community needs assessment, said the process took about an hour and a half with the tool, as opposed to 3 or 4 days the old way. Since our inception as a nonprofit supporting the Office of the Governor, we've worked strategically to overcome misperceptions about our purpose and to make our name known statewide. Our name alone has led to some confusion. We don't operate as a foundation, nor do we have an endowment. When we were created in 2003, the state supported our work for the first 6 years through various grants, which have since been eliminated. Thus, although we are connected to state government, we receive no state funding for our operations, beyond what's needed to match our federal grant to administer the AmeriCorps program. Additional resources will allow us to deepen and broaden our work to build the nonprofit infrastructure. For example, we'd add new data and functionalities to Texas Connector and train nonprofits, state agencies, city planners, and others in strategic use of the tool. We'd strengthen the capacity of our nonprofit management alliance partners, and also enhance our critical role in disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. OneStar is in an ideal position to strengthen the nonprofit infrastructure in Texas through our networks, particularly in rural communities. We've identified a major gap in critical research on the needs and capacity of the Texas nonprofit infrastructure. Such research is needed to inform targeted investment in the sector. We're eager to provide a support network for institutions of higher education active in the fields of nonprofit management and civic engagement to continue this informed approach to capacity building.